What is up, everyone? My name is Mr. J, and today I am bringing you a Digimon deck profile. We are talking about Gallantmon in SB 2.5. But before we go into the new list, I just want to review the Ulti Cup list that I took on February 22nd, and I managed to get 27th place with Gallantmon. So BT12 Digimon for our eggs. I prefer this one over the draw just because the added plus 1k that's guaranteed does come up a lot. It's really nice. But honestly, it is personal preference with the egg, whether you want the draw or the plus 1k. Moving on to the rookies, we do run 11. Of course, 4 of the EX2 Guilmon, 4 of the new Guilmon X Antibody, all Altarts, and then 3 copies of the Guilmon from the starter deck. The warp was nice, the draw was really nice, especially since I didn't have the egg. And honestly, I really love the starter deck Guilmon. I think for the Ulti Cup, the only thing that gave me issues was Mother Shoto, and for those matchups, I actually really wish I had the EX3 Guilmon, because sometimes it would have been nice to just, hard play the Guilmon from EX3 and then gains rush and you swing for game. Because they end up sometimes giving you 4 to 7 memory if they play the Gallantmon. But I guess the course Gallantmon, Medieval Gallantmon would pop the EX3 if you don't get rid of it in time. Those are our rookies. For our champs, we are running 10 in total. 4 Groundmon from the starter deck. Did I say 4? It's 3 copies of the Groundmon from the starter deck, 3 copies of the Groundmon from BT17, and then 4 copies of Groundmon X Antibody. The starter deck Groundmon actually really helped, but yeah, no, honestly, really helped. I think I would have preferred to see the Groundmon from BT12 for a nice DP buff, because you would think sometimes that Gallantmon doesn't need it, but yeah, sometimes the BT17 Gallant would benefit from the extra 2k DP. BT17 Growl, I really like it. Honestly, want to bump it up to 4 copies. Just adding 2k to the deletion effects. The inheritable on all turns is really nice, and then just popping the floodgates is also pretty good, because a lot of times your opponents will leave the Gazi, but I never had a problem with floodgates with the BT17 Growlmon. 4 copies of the Groundmon X Antibody. Of course, when Digivolving, draw 1, discard 1, and then on deletion, you get to play a Guilmon. Any Guilmon, so Guilmon X would also be a target. Really good. Probably the one I triggered Cool Boy most with at the Ulti Cup. So again, those were my champs. For my ultimates, very different lineup. I do have BT17 Wargrowl at a 4 copies, just because when you promote, you could, Digivolve into Growlmon X, tap the Cool Boys to gain a memory draw a card. But the BT17 Growlmon Wargrowl, if you did not delete an opponent's Digimon, you do gain Sec +1. So if for some reason you're missing the EX8 Wargrowlmon X Antibody inheritable, this does kind of fit in that extra Sec +1, that aggression, and I really like it. A lot of the times it wouldn't happen and I would just delete a body on the board, because when Digivolving, you delete up to 6k. With the Digimon, that means you're deleting up to 7k. And of course, if you have the BT17 Growlmon under there, then that means you're deleting up to 9k. It does come up if you're facing against Imperial, pop their Pyildramon, really cool. And actually the level 5, that inheritable, when this Digimon deletes if it has Gallantmon in the name, and if you delete a Digimon by card effect, you do get to unsuspend. So a lot of the times that would unsuspend my Gallantmon X Antibody, because if Gallantmon deletes a Digimon by effect with its when Digivolving effect, then it will not trash and unsuspend. With the BT17 Wargrowl, it will still unsuspend once you delete something when Digivolving. So totally threw my opponents off guard, because they would play something in the field, so that way when I Digivolve into Gallant X wouldn't get the trash and unsuspend. While you don't get the trash effect, you do get the unsuspend. So again, really helped out versus those matchups where I think like Mother Shoto, they didn't expect me to unsuspend, so I ended up taking that match. Really nice. And then of course, EX8 Wargrowl at 4 copies. Sometimes I would just hard Digivolve this dude in the back because the Sec +1 inheritable, but the when Digivolving effect to not be that protection from being returned to hand or deck, oh, so nice. Came up so much versus blue decks, Imperial. I didn't face Mirage, but I did face, Imperial Magnamon. Really good, because they try to use the option cards to bounce my Gallant X. Didn't work. Again, it was a godsend versus those decks. For the level 6s and the level 7s, we do have 3 copies of Gallantmon X Antibody and 3 copies of Gallantmon from BT17. 3-3 ratio, I think BT17 Gallant is the best Gallant moving forward, even into 2.5. So yeah, really good. Add 0 memory, unaffected by option cards, unaffected by anything. And then Gallantmon X Antibody, of course, the savior of this deck. If it wasn't for him, then I don't think Gallant would be meta, and I do think Gallantmon's meta. So 3-3 split, both equally important. And then the spicy techs that won me a lot of matches were the Omnimons from BT5. Obviously, when I show the updated list, it'll be 2 of the 2.5 Omnimons X Antibody, because yeah, it just power creeps this Omnimon. But like I said, Omnimon winning me games. They weren't searchable, so I had to run 2. And yeah, like I said, people were not expecting it. They expected Crimson mode, so they would play around the Crimson mode, but I don't need Crimson mode because this is an OTK build. So moving on to the options, or to the Tamers, only 3 Cool Boy. I would like to bump it up to 4 copies. I just don't know what to cut. But yeah, Cool Boy, no Takato, because, you know, Takato, if they don't play anything on board, then you don't gain the memory back. Cool Boy, it doesn't matter. If you Digivolve into the same level, then you do gain the memory and you get the draw power. So really nice. I really like the Cool Boy. Then 4 red memory boosts, because searching 4 deep into your deck, I don't have to worry about bottom decking Takatos in this deck. So 4 red memory boosts, ensure that I got my pieces all the time. 2 offense training, just extra consistency. I would like the 3-3 split, but I prefer the red memory boost because I really need to see my pieces. And then 2 copies of X Antibody OG, just because it was really nice to, when attacking, Digivolve into your X Antibody pieces. 1 Protoform. I think moving forward, maybe 2 Protoform and 1 of the original X Antibody, but Protoform was really nice to get. A free recovery, free source back, yeah. And then 1 Scramble, which I cut down for the second Omni. I actually really missed the Scramble. I wish I would have had a second one, because it does come up in grindy matchups like the Mother Shoto. Anyways, let's get into the deck profile for SB 2.5. All right, so moving on to the deck profile for 2.5, we do run 4 of the Digimon, still sticking with the same egg. Again, same rookies, 4 of the EX2, 4 of the EX8 Gallantmon X Antibody, and this time we cut the rookies down. We actually only put 2 of the Rush Gil because I am upping the scrambles as well. I honestly really miss the starter deck Gallantmon, but it is what it is. I think EX3 is a necessary evil that you need to put in the deck, so those are my rookies. For my champs, we are running 4 copies of the BT17 Growlmon, 2 copies of the Growlmon from BT12, and then again 4 copies of Growlmon X Antibody. So for this one, BT17, I really like it. Like I said, adding 2k to the deletion effects, all turns as the inheritable, is really good. Plus popping the floodgates is also pretty good. The Growlmon from BT12, it's also just because when I was facing Mother Shoto, it actually would have been really nice to have the DP buff on the Gallantmon from BT17. So this one, even though you'll notice that we're not playing into Takatos, the plus 2k DP comes up big time. And then for Growlmon X Antibody, sometimes you Digivolve the student raising for 3 memory, and it's still not bad because technically you get the memory back once you pop something. But he's really good to keep your aggression going. If they pop him, then he just gets to play a rookie out again. And again, he's pretty much the first person that triggers your Cool Boys. So those are my champs. If you notice, I bumped up the BT17 to 4 copies. I do think he's the most important one. For our ultimates, we are still running 4 BT17 and then 4 EX8 Wargrowl X. It was a tough choice because I actually really want to put in the Growlmon from the EX8. My bad. Is it EX8? Yeah. Not EX8. 2.5. I really want to put the 2.5 Wargrowl Ace in there to add plus 3k to the on deletion effects, all turns. You don't have to be at 0 or less memory to activate that effect, or that passive effect. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want the overflow of 3, And the BT17 War Growl does close out games because your opponent doesn't expect you sometimes to have the Sec +1. And yeah, the Altern's inheritable from the BT17, again, allowing you to unsuspend your Digimon also comes up huge, catches your opponents off guard. But like I said, War Growl Ace, I might cut to BT17 to try the Ace out because the when Digivolving or on play effect to delete 3k, and if your opponent has a Digimon, he can pretty much delete 5k, right? If you have the egg, it'll be 6k. If he has 2 Digimon out, then that 5k turns into 7. Again, if you have the Digimon, then it's 8k. And you gain the memory back depending on how many Digimon you delete. Again, really nice. The memory gain is really good, but like I said, I don't know. Sometimes when I Digivolve into the raising area, I don't mind Digivolving into BT17 in the raising area. This one I might feel some type of way, honestly. But it's just testing, maybe 2 and 2, or maybe just 1 to, throw your opponents off. But those are my ultimates. Again, 4 copies of this. I don't think I drop it down to 3 copies because the Sec +1 is the most important part. Again, I am going for the OTK here. I'm not trying to play the long game with Gallantmon because Gallantmon's immunity is not permanent. So yeah, these are my level 5s. Going to stay there at 8 and 8 because I want to trigger the cool boys. For our megas, we are running 3 copies of BT17 Gallant, 3 copies of VX8 Gallant, and our spicy tech. Well, probably not a spicy tech anymore, but 2 copies of Omnimon X Antibody from 2.5. So again, 3 copies. There are some people that run it at 2, which is okay, but my OTK usually starts with this BT17 Gallant because again, when you're at 0 or less memory, you're just immune to anything. No effects, no option cards, no Digimon card effects. Yeah. The only thing that's gonna stop this deck is pretty much like a Jack rated security. And you might be wondering, because I'm not playing Takados, how I trigger this so consistently, and it's because I have so much memory manipulation in the deck that I could easily just get to 0 memory and swing for 2 checks, maybe 3 checks if you have the BT17 War Growl active plus the EX8 War Growl X active. So again, this guy is usually swinging for 3 checks. And then Gallantmon X Antibody, our Lord and Savior. When Digivolving, you can delete a 10k or lower, and then if it didn't delete anything, it unsuspends and trashes a card. You really need the BT17 Gallantmon in there or X Antibody because, yeah, you would think that the when Digivolving, when attacking effect to gain 4k and then minus 4k isn't that important, but it does come up big. And the other thing I noticed was that if you do the EX8 War Growl X, the Gallantmon from BT17, Gallantmon X Antibody, with all the DP buffs, you could get up to 29k until the end of your opponent's turn, which is ridiculous because sometimes the Mother Shoto players would play their Medieval Gallant and try to swing over Gallantmon X Antibody, and they would just ask me, hey, what's the DP of your Gallantmon X? I'm like, bro, I am 29k. If you do the math, it's 3 from the War Growl, right? And then 3 from this one times 2, so that's 9k already. Plus the 8 potentially from this one, that's 17. So 17 plus 12 is 29k. That's a lot of DP. And yeah, honestly, it helped the X Antibody from getting run over from medievals all day in the Ultimate Cup. And again, the last level 7, the last megas for my deck are 2 Omnimon X Antibody. Pretty good because, yeah, it's just an extra way to finish off the game. Him being able to attack without suspending is really good. A lot of the times he's already suspended, but even giving himself rush comes up a lot. And the biggest thing with him is that now you can scramble him back to the top of your deck, or now you can search him with the red memory boost or the offense trainings. This guy, the power creep is just so real. A lot of the times you will have not the Omnimon X Antibody, but you will have X Antibody in this stack. And yeah, so you get to use the full benefits of his when Digivolving effects. So a lot of times you won't trigger your Takados if there's nothing to delete. But Cool Boy, as long as you Digivolve into the same level Digimon, you can tap it, gain a memory, draw a card. Again, the memory manipulation is very important, so sometimes you could choose not to tap the Cool Boy if you want to be at 0 memory. so that your Gallants are unaffected. And like I said, he really provides a lot of draw power, a lot of consistency to the deck. I might think of running one of the new Takatos from 2.5 from BT20, but maybe just as a one-of. It would just be really hard, maybe cut down an X antibody, honestly, and put in one Takato. That is an option. For our supporting cards, we have 4 red memory boosts. I've always been a fan of the red memory boosts, which is ironic because when they first came out, I actually didn't like them. But since this is an OTK oriented build, you literally just look for your pieces. Look for your pieces. Probably the most important card is EX8 War Growl and the BT17 Gallant. Really helps out. And again, you don't have to worry about floodgates because you are running 4 copies of the BT17 Growlmon and War Growl. So those pop the floodgates. 2 offense training just for more searchability. And again, the 2 is really important because the memory manipulation is important. So 2 costs, 2 costs, this is 3 costs. Again, sometimes you're at 2 memory, so you use this to go down to 0, or you're at 3 memory, you use this one to go down to 0, make your Gallantmons immune. Beautiful. Same thing with the scrambles. Sometimes 2 scrambles because sometimes you're at 2 memory and you have a Gallant in your hand. You digivolve using the scramble, now you're at 0 memory. Pretty cool. The scramble honestly is really nice. I didn't like scramble before, but scramble, you can bring back the EX3 Gallantmon and swing for game, or you could put Omnimon X antibody back in the top of your deck and pretty much rush for game that way. So again, Omnimon X antibody being a red Digimon and a blue Digimon now, oh man, amazing. I love the scramble, love it, love it, love it as a 2-of. And again, it really helps versus the grindy matchups because Mother Shoto, a lot of the times you'll probably end up being close to decking out, but the scramble really helps you out. 2 copies of X antibody, in all honesty, like I said, I don't know. It really is up to personal preference. I think I'm going to move it up to 2 Protoform and only 1 OGX antibody, or maybe 2 Protoform and 1 Takato, just to test it out because I'm running the BT12 Growlmon and maybe that will help out. Having a memory setter, but these are my supporting cards. Anyways, guys, that's my list. Again, long time Gallantmon player. Wish I could put the BT12 Gallantmon in here because I really love that card and I've been playing it for a very long time. Sadly, had to move it up because this one's just superior. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you like, what you dislike. Are you running different techs? Do you still run Crimson mode over the Omnimon X antibody, even 2.5? Let me know. Maybe I should fit in a Crimson mode in the future. If you liked the video though, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. My name is Mr. J. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you all next time. Also, just as a disclaimer, guys, I am going to be taking a break, maybe 2 to 3 weeks from Digimon. I guess if I'm being completely honest, I'm a little burned out because, I don't have a full team of like 5 people or 6 people, or I also am a teacher and that also takes a lot of my time. I don't have, this isn't my full-time job as a content creator. And I know some other Digimon content creators, this is their only job, which is cool. But unfortunately, I don't have the time to upload every day because I do have to edit the videos, commentate on the videos, or commentary on the videos, do commentary on the videos, or, work on the thumbnails and such. So yeah, unfortunately, a little burned out, had to take a 2 or 3 week break. And yeah, honestly, I've been uploading content pretty consistently for the last month or 2 months. And yeah, I don't see the views or the subscribers be what they used to. And I know, other Digimon content creators are really killing it, and I noticed the difference. So very unfortunate I'm not getting the same amount of views or subscribers as they are. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, so maybe I just need to take some time and, take a small vacation and get back into it, maybe 2 to 3 weeks from now. And maybe creativity will be a little different for me. But if you guys have stuck around these last 2 months, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate if you like my videos. I appreciate if you've been subscribing. Honestly, I know who my regulars are that comment on my videos, and man, dude, you guys have no idea how much you guys mean to me, and I appreciate you because honestly, I wouldn't have made videos so consistently for 2-3 months if you guys weren't in the comment section, if you guys weren't liking my videos, and honestly, I do feel that appreciation from you guys that have been consistently in the comment section. So yeah, man, I love you guys. I don't think I've ever said that, but I love you guys. I love this game. And hopefully when I come back in 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be a little bit more invigorated to make content, maybe different content. But as always, guys, if you guys enjoyed the deck profile, yeah, this is Mr. J. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the near future. Bye, guys.